Me and Dave Chafee, let's go. The clear reality is Dave's gonna wipe me, but I might actually win this poll. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. That's you also got voted in, right? With all these people. So
exactly. The fact that I'm in the tournament, peak Dave Chafee has pins on just about everyone. There was an era in American arm wrestling where he was untouchable. It was easy money Dave Chafee because he would just win everything. But at the moment, he's in trouble against me. That's all I could. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I'm winning the poll already. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm running away with it. Dave was never known for his endurance at the end of the day, was he?
I wish I had a Bart Wood here to tell the chat that they're making a mockery of the sport.
Stop making a mockery of this.
By 2016, Krasimir would face one of his most formidable opponents yet, in the now undisputed number one of the world, Levan Saginashvili. The two met during a match in the European Championships, and it was clear that Georgian Holak was, even then, already much larger than Krasimir. Nevertheless, the athlete slipped, and Krasi stopped Levan in the straps on the inside. From there, he worked on Levan in typical Kostadinov fashion, and fouled him out twice for the win.
Still in high position, center of the table. Very.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you might be. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday out there in the arm wrestling world. Happy Easter, by the way, guys. You're having a good Easter holiday too. Let me get some music going. Here we go. Welcome to the Arm Historian Live. As usual, on Sunday. See who's in chat. Hey, Boss Royale, how you doing? Good to see you. German Game, hey, what's up, man? Welcome. Bear, aka Baby Arm in the house. What's up, Bear? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you guys. Hope you've had a wonderful week. As far as arm wrestling, I'm not gonna bother catching up on the news. I just didn't have any time for it anyway, so that's not what's on the docket today, as you can see by the title and by how the live stream looks in general. We're doing the Arm Wrestling Fantasy League today. Last live stream, we decided on kind of a general rule set for our tournament. I'll quickly go over it again. We voted on doing an all-time prime again, on the right arm again, in the open weight class again, and this time under an East versus West rule set. Now, before we continue, I will say that starting from the next Fantasy League, which will probably be somewhere this year, because I'm aiming to do 2 a year, we will be going with different rules. These rules will all be excluded. Apart from maybe right arm, left arm, I might keep that one, but all the other ones will be excluded, so we will be doing a totally different Fantasy League next time, just so you know. King Denny says, have you watched this show in Russia? It was fire, like East versus West and King of the Table level. Which one is that? I don't think I have, King Dennis. I don't think I have. But yeah, this time, this live stream, we're going to do the general draft of the people, so kind of deciding who is eligible to be voted into the All-Time Prime Fantasy League. And then during the course of the week, people will be able to vote right now I have it up to 3 people each. So each and every one of you will be able to cast 3 votes on different athletes to enter the league, and then at the end of the week I take a look at the rankings, how it all turned out, and that will also decide the seed of the league, so in what order pullers will be facing each other. So it is quite important, this vote. I will be sharing it on all my social media, on YouTube. Maybe I'll make a separate video even kind of announcing it, or a short or something, maybe, I'll see. But yeah, that's what's going down today. I'll be adding like the people that are eligible. I'll add the usual suspects, like the most quote-unquote well-known pullers in the world, and then if you guys think I'm missing some people, or if you have some favorites that you want in there, feel free to tell me in chat and I'll include them too. King Dennis says it was strongman, bodybuilding, and arm wrestling all in one day. Some of the best strongmans were there, and Schoolboy won a match versus Tokarev. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. No, I didn't see that. I think I saw a clip of it, maybe. It kind of rings a bell now that you're describing it, but I don't think I watched the event. Pretty sure I didn't, so I'll have to catch up on that, but that does sound very interesting. How did the strongmen do in the event? Did they do well in general? So let's take a look. I'll open the forum here. I'll do a simple Google form, like I did some research, and at the end of the day, this is the most simple way to do it, I think. So, even though it's took me a while to find out, even though it's relatively simple, it still took me a while. But yeah, here we go. King Dennis says Vitaly and Morozov had a photo with Thor. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I did see Vitaly and Morozov training together, which was interesting. It looked like Morozov was kind of going into a king's move to a certain degree, or at least an open top role, maybe to prepare Vitaly somewhat against his fight versus Michael Todd. I'll add Denis Plenkov, of course. Maybe I should get a list here next to me. But yeah, when we're thinking of all-time prime people, like any decade goes, so Cleve Dean should be in there, right? Richard Lupke should be in there. Let's see. I'll just Travis Bajent. I'll add both people that I just saw mentioned in chat. Vitaly Lalatin and Artyom Morozov. Yertilon says draft the Easter Bunny. I kind of have to put it in now, right? But the thing is, I kind of suspect it will get a ton of votes and then we'll actually have to include it into the tournament. But hey, maybe. Why not go for it, right? I'll try to keep most of the list visible to you, but yeah, you're always gonna miss a little bit, guys. I'll make myself a little smaller here. Hang on. It's kind of messy. I'll make the chat smaller. I think that makes sense. With here. And then I'll make the list a little larger. Put it right here. Mr. Peanut, how you doing? Welcome, man. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, what we're doing is adding people to the list that are eligible to enter the tournament. And then during the course of the next week, all the entire ARM historian community can vote on it. I'll open the link up on my Instagram, Facebook, even maybe on TikTok and stuff like that, even though my following is really low there. And yeah, I'll post in the YouTube community tab. And Probably also make a video for the YouTube channel itself, so... Okay, like, Mr. Peanut is saying draft Snoopy, aka the Mouse Marvel. Okay, like, this convinced me that I need to remove the Easter Bunny, and let's just say real people only. Even though it's a fantasy league, let's keep it to real people only. It's just... Mr. Peanut just convinced me. Hey Tomer, how you doing, man? Good to see you, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Okay, yeah, so just throw names at me if you want, guys. I'm probably gonna forget a ton of people here, but I'm just kinda going off the first names that pop into my head, right? I'll try not to add any duplicates, but I might, so... You can tell me if I did. Wait, how did he spell his name again? Like, say... Whatever, it might be wrong. I think it is wrong, his first name here, but... I think it's Alexei. Wait. Whatever. What's your weight, bro? Says Gameplay of Games. Currently probably around 130 kg, something like that. Maybe a little under now. Yeah, thanks for reminding the people to smash the like button, Geert. Ariam no top roll coming in with... Damn, is this Korean won or is this... I'm not quite sure. But thank you anyways for the super chat, I greatly appreciate it. He says, if you yank, will it be job hand or job blow? Depends on what I'm using, right? Interestingly, I have 2 heads where my hands are supposed to be, so you can kind of draw your own conclusions from that. Thanks so much for the super chat, man. I greatly appreciate it. Means a lot. Tomer says, always humbling to find out someone is a little under double your weight. Yeah, but trust me, man, a lot of the weight isn't good weight. I'm trying to convert it into good weight, but yeah, have some way to go there. I'm sure there's plenty of people half my weight that can still beat me, so yeah. So yeah, Andre Pushcart, thanks for that, Tomer. I added that one. I'll add Yoshinobu Kanai. Hariam no top roll says it's Pradeep Nation. Are you from the Pradeep Nation, Hariam no top roll? I welcome all Pradeepers if they so choose. Gameplay of Games says, what's your height, brother? I think about like 195 to 198 or something. Somewhere in between that range, depending on when you measure me and wearing shoes and all that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day when I'm like at my smallest, probably like 195 or something, I don't know. Tomer says, how many people are we drafting? Well, this list could be infinite, like quote-unquote infinite, right? It won't be, of course, but we can add as many names as we want to this list because this is just the people that you can vote on to actually enter the tournament. Will only be from these people. If that's what you're asking, from these people we will be drafting, we will be picking either 16 or 24. So I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. You guys can weigh in on that if you want, and maybe I can decide this live stream, but I'm kind of leaning towards 16 because I think in order to keep it timely, kind of double elimination, 16 people seems about right. But then it would be nice to have some outliers in there too, right? Because I'm afraid that if we do 16, people are just gonna vote all the usual people in. You know what I mean? And I kind of want some wild cards in there too. Hey, Gameplay of Games, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, my frame, I think I have a good frame for the sport. I have a big hand too, so I have some things going for me for the sport. But then my overall fitness level is just not high. You know what I mean? I could improve a lot in my overall fitness. And yeah. But yeah, I think I am quite lucky. I'm not like some genetic freak or something, not at all, not even close. But I am quite lucky with some things. Verbeer says huge hand. Verbeer is one of my training partners who's in chat right now, aka Baby Arm. Yeah. Gameplay of... Oh no. Tomer says, Don Underwood I think would be cool. He really peaked in 2010 by pitting Devon like 15 times at Arm Wars. Yeah, good one, man. I agree. Definitely. And then for some reason, like, these two guys in my mind are linked forever, and I don't know why. They're two totally different people. Their attitudes are totally different. But like Don Underwood and Tim Bresnan, for some reason in my mind, I always like put them in the same kind of category. Like older, super heavyweight puller that's been around for a long time in the US. That has been really good at some point in his career, but not consistently been at the top. That's kind of how I view both these guys. Might be wrong there. People will probably call me out on some things there, but yeah. Kind of how I categorize them in my own head. Gameplay of Games says, what's your nationality? You can kind of take a guess if you want Gameplay of Games. It's a running joke on this channel. People guessing where I'm from based on my accent. Tomer says, are we having wall table path? I've forgotten. We haven't voted on that. We didn't vote on that yet, so that's undecided. I'm open to voting on that if you guys want. Right now we're using an East versus West rule set. So I think, like, how much difference is there really still between East versus West pads and WAL pads? Because I think they're the same as far as like depth goes, like length, you know what I mean? But I think they're a little shorter moving sideways. I think moving forward and backwards, they're the same size as WAL pads, I believe. Could be wrong. Hey, Kings Blue Social Club, how you doing, man? Good to see you, welcome. See you. But yeah, I think... Now you got me doubting if they are similar. Hey, Daniel Verba says, Jash Georgi? Sorry if I butchered that name. I have no clue. I'm ashamed to say who that is, even though I call myself the arm historian. Let me look him up. Ah, yes, I've seen this guy. He pulled Gennady and stuff too, right? I've seen this guy around. Yeah, sure, yeah. I'll add him. Sounds good. If people want him in, they can vote on him, and then he'll be in the league. And who knows, maybe he'll win it all. There you go. Norm Devio. Jesus, you guys are coming with the deep cuts here. I like it. I like it a lot. Norm Devio. Yeah, man. When was his prime, I wonder? I saw him versus someone on a practice table not too long ago, I believe. If we're thinking about the same guy, and he was just like owning the guy on the practice. I think it was against Greg, right? Against that Eastside Arm Wrestling? Can't remember. But yeah, I'll add him for sure. I'll add Norm. Kingsblue Social Club says, I'm designing a table right now that will change arm wrestling forever. That sounds very promising. What's different about it, Kingsblue Social Club? I'd love to know. Or is it like a trade secret or something? Hariam Notopro says, people say hanging is good for gaining height. That means Nugo will be 6 feet after the match. I'm looking forward to that match so much. It's one of the only interviews between Nugo and Matt Mask that I've watched from this upcoming event. Not because it's the only one that's interesting to me, but it's just I have limited time to watch some, so I had to pick one. Gameplay of Games is want Arm Historian versus Pep main event super match at East vs West. I'm sure I'll never be in East vs West, but yeah, I'd be down for a super match anytime. I actually kind of have a super match in the books, like in the Philippines in June. I'm having a super match with the minus 85 kilogram national champ of the Philippines. Believe it or not. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'd love to do a content creator super match. That would be awesome one day. Tomer says, in my opinion, they should remove the extra table room at the back but keep the same pad size. It always annoys me how you can get your elbow at the very back. Yeah. I kinda get you. It has its reasons, right? I think one of the reasons maybe also is just something really stupid, like your shirt or your skin getting stuck between the elbow pad and the table itself. It sounds really stupid and dumb, right? But that's one reason I could think of why there is some spacing there. Hirtilon says draft arm historian himself too. Or what G of G says. Yeah. I'd love to do a super match versus Pep. I don't know at which level he is. Tomer says, is Levan banned? Now that's a good question. Let's vote on that. Let's decide on that right now. Is Levan banned from our tournament? I'll start the poll and we can vote on that. Is Levan banned? Yes or no, very simple. Get your votes in. I'll keep it until, yeah, I'll let it run for at least 10 minutes, maybe longer. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Tomer. We should decide on that. Remember, last time Levan was banned. Last time we did this. And yes, we did do this 2 times before already. But I have some big plans for this edition. Awesome, King's Move. I love to hear it, man. Hey, Boss Royale, how you doing? Good to see you. Fearless Spectrum in the house. Hey, Fearless Spectrum. How's your training going, man? I've been following your progress on Instagram. Looking better and better on the table, I think. Homer says, oh yeah, I asked Pradeep on a live stream if he would be interested in pulling you. He said he'd probably lose, but he'd be down for it. Really? I'd love to do it, man. I'd love to face Pradeep. I wonder why he thinks he'd probably lose. Someone must have spilled the beans on my weight category. Remember, my best result in a tournament was only winning amateurs. So my level isn't high, you know what I mean? Boss Royale says, best arm wrestling exercise for beginner, go. Tough question, I think. I love hand and wrist dominance. Like, I'm a very hand-oriented puller. So yeah, one of my true bread and butter when I do arm wrestling training is definitely just cupping. Yeah, wrist work, all wrist work, and then a couple of other general things I do, like you can change it up, right? Because the way I have got it set up, and there are way better ways of doing this, but unfortunately, like with my cable machine and stuff like that, the way I have it set up is the handle is coming from above, so I have a lot of room to work how I want to work. I use a fat grip on a roller for those kinds of exercises. I've actually, hang on, I'll see if I can pull it up. I think I posted on Instagram. I showed some of the things I do. I'll pull it up for you guys, 1 second. Here we go. This. There we go. Here you can kind of see some of what I do. Like, it's only a little bit, but like I do wrist straight, and then I also go like this, and then you can combine them too, where you first pull down, and then while you're pulling down, you're kind of bending your wrist. Stuff like that. But yeah, there you go. You have a super match today, the Fearless. Versus who? Are you gonna put it on Instagram? Opinions on Michael Todd Pronation Lift Forum. I've also made a couple of shorts talking with Reno and stuff about that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I can talk about this for ages, but I won't, because we actually have something to do this live stream. But I think a lot of like exercises you see these actual like top of the hill pullers do, I think they're not really applicable to 99% of people watching them. I think they're so specialized that anyone who's on a lower level won't get much benefit of it, or anyone who's even not like pulling the same way they are. Because you gotta think of it this way, right? They've gotten so specialized in certain moves throughout their career, like multiple decades careers, that, I don't know, it just seems like those kinds of moves wouldn't be applicable to anyone other than they themselves, you know what I mean? Hey Chuck, how you doing? Today we're adding people to the list of people that we can vote into the tournament. So we're adding athletes to the list, and then throughout the week, I'll be sharing the link on all my social media and stuff like that, and people can vote on who they want in the All-Time Prime Fantasy League. So that's what we're doing today, seeing that I don't miss anyone. Talking about that, I should add some more names. I'll keep the poll here, make it a little smaller. There you go. Pradeep is a leg puller, not an arm puller. I think we should have 2018 Levant, just not current Levant. That's interesting. Boss Royale said, so it looks like Vitaly is more interested in other things than actually training for Michael. Maybe. I don't know, man. It's always hard for me to get a grip on how seriously Vitaly is actually taking it. Like arm wrestling in general. What about wrist injury, Levant? Never saw a wrist injury Levant pull, right? Maybe that's a good thing. Free SARMs, Levant. Levant and his love for SARMs. Gertillen says Levant isn't banned, but he isn't interested in showing up and defending his title. So you're talking about an ideal future here. Something like that happens, you know we're living in a fantasy world. I'm doing well, man, thank you. Would you pull Auden? I would, but I don't think I'd win, but I would. I have some weight over him. I don't think I have experience over him. He's been pulling since he was a little boy. So he'd probably beat me. But yeah, I would. I would for sure. I'd pull East Side too. Like Greg. I'd pull him. I think there's a ton of content creators who I could have good matches with. I'd pull Ozzy. Ozzy arm wrestler. I know he arm wrestles himself too, so... there's a ton of guys. I can think of a ton of guys. Matt Connolly, I'd arm wrestle him too. Do a super match with him. The Fearless is getting stronger. My pressing movement is getting, been pulling bigger guys. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get a lot of opportunities to do that within my trading group, kind of. I have to go to tournaments to actually pull the bigger guys. Which, you know, that's fine. You can work around it, but... Hang on, I'm gonna let my cat in. My cat wants in. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. All good. Boss Royale says, do you wrist curl every day? No. 3 times a week, probably. Yeah. And then 1 table time a week. Like, sometimes we'll get 2 table times in, but that doesn't happen a lot anymore. We used to, I remember my first year and a half or something, or even 2 years maybe, we used to do 2 times table time a week. We'd go really hard on the table 2 times a week and then have 1 or 2 gym times a week. Mr. Peanut says, elbow pad area between edge of table. Design should not allow humors to contact edge of table. Player contact must be to tabletop, not side or edge of table. Yeah, depending on, you can change your rules too, I guess. Tomer says, he said you are a bigger, taller guy. He said he's 5'11" and went on a rant about how he likes using inches and not centimeter, because he says he's 5'10" and a half, but with feet he can say 5'11". Centimeter, it's accurate. So what is that, like 180 or something? Interesting, yeah. I'd love to see that clip. If it's around. Was on one of his live streams, I'm guessing. Harim Toprol says, they say Titanic was such a heartbreaking story, really. Ask Coach Ray about East vs West simply sidelining him. And Yin talked about athlete who give online coaching in recent posts, and Ray wasn't there. Yeah, I've seen some posts going around about Ray not being invited to East vs West and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe they're going in another direction with other people. I don't know. Maybe Ray will speak out on it. I have no clue. Until he does, though, it's like mostly speculation, though, right? Let's get some other people in here. Hang on. I'm gonna pull up a list. I know there's a ton of people we can still add, but from heart, I mean, but just easier to include a list, I think. I'll add Cobra. I'll add Hermes, of course. Gasparini. If we don't get a full list by the end of this live stream, I'll try to add as many as I can before I actually put like the voting online, before I actually open the voting up. I'll add Georgy Tsvetkov. That's another good one. So yeah, letting we have. I'll add Jerry Cataract. Jerry Cataract. I'll add Georgy Zeranov. I'll add Gennady Krikvinya. Good one, of course. Can't forget about Gennady. I hope Google allows like 100+ options or something. Cat historian on the bed. Arm flextorian. Do you think you can beat Raoul Paniker? Probably not. I do know who Raoul Paniker is, but I'm not super familiar with like his current level. Probably not. I know he's a lot lighter than I am, but probably a lot more experienced than I am, so... Vanity lifts, says Mr. Peanut. There's a lot of vanity lifts out there. I just try to experiment best I can and find what works for me. Have you tried pronation lift? What's your max in it? No, not really. Not like the typical pronation lift I've seen around. I think I did it with like 25 kilos or something just to try the lift out like a belt. But no, I didn't ever try maxing it. The Fearless Spectrum says, what's your weight? Once again, it's a little under 130, I think. His Move Social Club says, I'd pull you guys, but I'm probably the smallest here, you never know. Please do a cat historian, our next emote. Nice, I'll do it. Love my cat. Bosreal says, when is Brzink Part 3 coming out? Soon. I'm editing it. Like, before this live stream started, I was editing it, and probably I'll continue editing it into the night, and then tomorrow too. But yeah, tomorrow is like I can do it probably tomorrow. It's funny because the first part did really well, but then the second part, for some reason, didn't quite catch on. I'm 5'9", 160 resting. I can build to 180. But I start to breathe weird. Yeah. Sour, yeah. Sour, I'll add Sour. That's a good one. Tomer, I like it. Very nice. I'll add, let's see. I'm gonna start looking at some of these here. I'll add Engin Terzi. Seems like a good one. I'll try to add pictures for all of them too, by the way. It's gonna be a lot of work, but I'll try to make it as appealing as I can. Sorry guys, got a little distracted. Harium Notopro says you can't even beat Auden and you think you will beat me. You will, so better watch out. I'd love to pull you, man. Tomer says, I'll find the clip and put it on Discord. Awesome. Thanks, I appreciate it. What's the deal with Ray and Engin? What did he do? I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of things like a lot of posts saying there's some beef between them, or it's because Ray pulled at a certain event or something, but I kind of doubt it. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe they wanted to try some other people for a while. Until Ray speaks out on it, or East versus West, we can't really know for sure, right? I'll add Dave Chafee. I don't think I've added Dave Chafee yet. That's a very good one, I think. Can do some real damage. Right now, Levan will be banned if the poll would stop right now, so keep that in mind. Bortolato, Chuck, I like it. Wagner Bortolato. Good one. Like, I know there's still like 1,000 people not on there. Scott Norton. I think, yeah, Arsene Liliev, that's a good one. Chuck, thank you. Really good one. I saw Ryan Bowen somewhere. I'll add Ryan Bowen. Let's see. Emil Jablonski, I like it. I like it a lot. Remember, you can go back in time as far as you want. So I'll add Virgil Arciero too. Dimitri Trubin. Awesome. Sorry if I misspell some names here, but I think you guys know who I'm talking about. Ivan Matyushenko. Yes. Andre the Giant, although we don't really know if he ever pulled even, but I doubt he ever did. But I'll put him on there. Hey Sachiko, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing fine. Do you take maple syrups as gameplay of games? Actually, I don't. Yeah. It is a thing here, we do have it, but it's not like I'm crazy about it. I don't eat a lot of pancakes, so, yeah. And let's be clear here, I don't eat any, like any of the proverbial pancakes, if you know what I mean. Mega huge classic Fat Dave. Who is that, man? Trying to think. I'll add Gary Goodrich, of course. Sachiko takes maple syrup. Maple syrupy SARMs. For real. Yeah. How's that working out for you, man? Whereas Ivakin, yeah, man. Oh, believe me, I've had my run-ins with Engin. It's funny because I respect Engin for the most part. I do. I think I disagree with maybe some decisions he's taken, but all in all, I think I have a lot of respect for what Engin has done for the sport. Like as an arm wrestler and his career and stuff. I've covered it in one of my videos, and yeah, I respect him a lot for that. For sure. But yeah, there's some things I don't know, man. Like I'm banned by the East versus West channel. I have no clue why. I found out the other day. Like I commented on a live stream, like addressing someone directly who I saw in live stream. And they didn't answer back, so I checked with another account, and yeah, none of my messages were showing up. Also, none of my comments are showing up under their videos and stuff. So yeah, for some reason I'm banned by East vs West on YouTube. Very weird. So that kind of also dispels the rumors that, which were like lobbed at my head some time ago about me being an East vs West chill. Or Or like me only caring about East versus West. I'm banned by those guys, so I don't... I think it's pretty safe to say that that's not the case. Have you ever got injured during an arm wrestling match? Yeah, I did, but nothing too serious. One of my first tournaments, I got injured during the setup in the straps. Which sounds really stupid, but yeah, that's the way it happens. Like my wrist kind of... I don't know, man. There was way too much force being applied in the straps during the setup. I learned a valuable lesson from it that day, but it did end up costing me like several months of... yeah, like decent work with my right arm, because I just couldn't with that wrist. I had to take rehab and stuff for it, so... But yeah, forcing in the straps while under pressure of the straps, or when you're in an unfavorable position in the first place and you're trying to force stuff with your wrist, if you're not experienced, don't do it. Maybe it was just a fluke thing, could be, but... Rum bath, of course, Chuck. Of course. Thanks, Kingsmove. Gameplay says, are pickles beneficial for arm wrestlers? I have no clue. I don't mind pickles. I won't eat pickles like a whole pickle. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a whole pickle kind of guy, but I'll chop it up and add it to something if it makes sense. Yeah, for sure, said Chico. German Game says, can you put me in the list? Maybe. Send me a match, German Game. Have you done a tournament by now? I know you found some people to train with. How's your game improved? Okay, Chuck says +1 for German Game. Then we'll put German Game in there. You want to go in under German Game, or do you want to go in under your real name? I'm assuming German Game, but if you want your real name, that's fine. Tomer says, eat clean, train hard, and never give up. Probably a lot of guys' mantra. Hey TOS Move, how you doing, man? Good to see you, good to see you, welcome. TOS Move, one of those long-time viewers. I appreciate you, man. Sachiko says Engin is bipolar. I have no clue. I have no access to any of his medical records. I have no idea. He's the Kanye West of arm wrestling. I kind of like that. Like, I won't comment on any of, like, my opinions on some of his personal convictions. I won't. But I'll just say I have a lot of respect for Engin as an arm wrestler. Like, I've researched his career, and the guy is genuinely, like, a really, 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 really great arm wrestler. And, like, loves the sport. Is very interested in the sport and in, like, figuring the sport out throughout his career. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for him in that regard. Do I think some of his decisions when it comes to, like, dealing with content creators and stuff like that have always been the greatest? No. No. He knows as much. I've told him as much. I don't think he's always made the best decisions on that regard, but it's a learning curve, right? I only hope for the best, man. At the end of the day, I want arm wrestling to grow as a whole. And right now, East versus West is the biggest league, and Engin is instrumental, has been instrumental, probably still is instrumental to seeing that league realized. So I can only support it and hope arm wrestling grows as a consequence of it. Because that's the end goal, right? Apart from all our differences and, like, differences in opinions and how stuff should be run and stuff like that, I think we all want the same thing at the end of the day. At least 99.9% of us. That might sound a little sappy, but I think that's just true as well. Ari Monotopro says, I thought the same until I saw the post of Engin. Well, as you know, Ray has launched his new online course. Yeah, I saw that. And Engin could have simply mentioned Ray, but guess what? Enigma of Ash didn't. Interesting, okay. Yeah, I agree. I can barely manage 2 part-time employees. Yeah, there you go. I don't think... I don't think it's an easy job. Not as easy as some people think it is, probably. Yeah, I put you in as German game. Pickles are good for muscle recovery. Interesting, Robert. Is that like a... is that like a scientific fact? I don't care if it is or not, I'll believe you anyways, but... There are not much tournaments in Germany, right? At German Games, says Grieferland. I picked up on this comment, I know it's not directed at me, but there are quite a bit of tournaments in Germany. I know our training group has not really considered going to some, but we've talked about some tournaments going on relatively close to us over in Germany. Awesome, good to hear, German game. No, Tomer, we went over this before in the live stream, like, people were starting to introduce, like, a lot of fictional characters. They do need to be real people, or have been real people at some point, and preferably have something to do with arm wrestling. So preferably. I think I'm missing some chat. For some reason, YouTube was showing me, like, the quote-unquote top chat only again. Sachiko says, do you speak German, arm historian? Not well. I had like 2 years of German in high school, but yeah, not well. I've traveled to Germany several times and I can make myself, like, I can express myself in a very basic level, let's put it that way. So is the Ray Engin beef real? We don't know, man. I have no clue until either of them speaks out on it. I don't think we really can know, right? We can make some, we can do some speculation. Chuck says, army historian, you basically speak German every day. I don't know what you mean. That's not German, and you know it. That's not German. But I'm sure some people would think it's German. Andrei Smaev. There you go. Put him on there, man. It's a good one. I like it. Yeah. Stuff like that is certainly allowed, I think. I think that Andrei Smaev is totally fine. Speak it bitte? No, I won't. Grieferland. You want me to speak German on stream? No. That's not gonna happen. I can speak my own language if you want, like my mother tongue, a little. Same language family, says Sachiko. His Social Club says Mark Henry was super duper strong. Mark Felix, says that Chuck. Yeah, I like it. Okay, yes, says Grieferland. I'll speak it a little. Ik zal even mijn eigen taal spreken, maar ik denk dat niet veel van jullie mij gaan verstaan op deze manier. There you go. What do you think of that? All gobbledygook, right? We've just made it all up. Chuck says, if we got Andre the Giant and Mark Felix, yeah, makes sense, man. I added him. Brian Shaw, yes, for sure. I'll add Eddie Hall too. Bro Shaw, yes. Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall. I'll add Neil Pickup. I shouldn't laugh. Because people like Ryan Bowen and stuff are on here too, so don't laugh at Neil Pickup. It was genuinely a good puller. Probably still is. Chico says, yes, it's Germanic. That's what it sounded like. Let's see. I'm sure we're still missing like a lot of very obvious ones, right? I really like this song. I'm gonna turn it up a bit for you guys. Neil beat MMT, if I can remember. Says King's Move. Yeah, he did on the beach there. Very interesting match. Do we have Morozov? Yes, we do. Morozov. King's Move Social Club says, Arm Historian, what's your favorite genre of music? I've been asked this a couple of times, and my answer is really stupid, but I'm into a lot of music. I used to play in a band and stuff, so I'm just generally into music. Don't spend as much time with it as I'd like in the last couple of years, but yeah, I'm into all kinds, man. Seriously. I like a lot. I used to listen to like mainly indie rock kind of stuff when I was younger, but yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. Like I love some like 60s blues rock and stuff too, like some Howling Wolf stuff and stuff like that. Really good. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, too much to go over. But I'm really into music. But I think most people are, right? To a degree. Kingsblue says, I didn't know that. I can barely remember it. Top Row King says, hey, what about an Australian guy who is super jacked and tall? Isn't he meant to pull soon? You're talking about Ryan Bowen, right? Todd Hutchings is on there, yes, German game, but thanks for checking. But yeah, Todd Hutchings is on there. He's into Armenian folk music. That should have been my answer, right? Gangster rap, yeah. If Robert knows. Jerry Caderet is on there. Arm historian. A real gangster. Yeah, let's see. It's very hard to think of pullers on the spot, right? For some reason. It's been like a ton that we've missed, I think. I'll add Kalinichenko. That's another good one. I'll add some of the big boys too, like Alex Krudecha. Let's try to rattle off as much as we can. I'll add Schoolboy even. Derek Smith I'll add. Kalinichenko. Like I said, I might misspell some names, but that's just how it's gonna go. Unfortunately. Let's see. Sandri Shedis, I'll add him. Shedis, I'll add Yevgeny Prudnik. Yevgeny Prudnik. It's Yevgeny, right? With a Y in front? Yevgeny? No, that doesn't look right. Whatever. You know who Prudnik is. Let's see, who else do we have here? I'll add some women. I'll add Barbora. I'll add Gabby Vasconcelos. Who else can we add here? There's so many people. I'm kind of trying to limit myself to the upper weight classes, right? I think... Oh, but it's on the right hand, so Alijan maybe doesn't make a lot of sense, right? But yeah, it shouldn't matter if people... It's an open weight class, so people can vote on whoever they want, right? To enter. I'm just going through all the A's here. There's so many. Voda we already had. We have Cobra Rhodes. I'll add Alan Fisher. That's another good one. Alan Fisher at its peak can do some damage, I think. I'll add Dave Patton. I think that's a good one. I'll add maybe Bill Brezink. I like it. I'll add Johnny Walker. It's an important one, of course. Kingsmo says Corey deserves to be up there. Yes, of course, Corey West. I like it. Corey West is on there. Or did you mean Corey Bresnan? I think you meant Corey West. Do we have Jerry? Yes, we do. We do have Jerry Caderet. Sergei Tokarev. I'll add him. Sure. There we go. I like it. Yeah, hit me with them, guys. Both Derek Smiths are there, one from the west and one from the east. Referencing Alex Kurdecha, I'm assuming, Chuck. Jody and Rebecca. Okay, I'll add Jody Larrett and Rebecca Todd. If they get voted in, I swear, guys, I'm not gonna be happy. Barbora beats Levon on God. Kingsmoon Social Club says Sarah Bachman. Let's add Sarah Bachman. Bachman. There we go. Barbora versus Arm Historian. Probably she'd pummel me. I'm pretty sure she'd beat me pretty easily. Like, we're very similar in weight, so I think she'd probably beat me. Really, Chuck? Interesting. I think I saw a screenshot of that. Ryan Bowen versus Rebecca Todd. Richard Lupkes is on their German game. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Richard Pennell? Number 1 from 1870 to 85. Is that like one of those traveling strongmen or something, Tomer? I'll put Auden Lerat on there. Just saw his name here. I think Arsen Liliev we have. I'll put Artem Taranenko on there just because he's a known figure, right? I think that makes sense. Who else do we have here? Arif Ertem. Jesus, there's too many. There's way too many. At a certain point, we do have to start thinking about, like, okay, who is actually gonna stand a chance with any of these people, right? I'll put Aymeric Bradeen on here. Wasn't it Bradeens? Whatever. I'll put Krasimir Kostadinov on there. He's kind of a giant slayer, right? And then Matt Mask I'll put on there as well. I'll put Tom Nelson on there. I'm looking through the list here. There's so many arm wrestlers. Actually, crazy. Chen Shaw I'll put on there. Yeah, Tomer, I thought so. You just made me remember. I saw it and sent it to you on Discord. Which one is that, Chuck? Like the AWC event? Ah, it might have been you that showed it to me. US Move says the base master Jason Merlot. Very interesting you mentioned Jason Merlot. Because Jason Merlot will be one of our special guests on the Fantasy League. Either next week or the week after or the week after. Yeah. But he will be a special guest on the Fantasy League. He will be co-commentating our matches. Really happy to have him on. Really lucky that he agreed to come on. I'm gonna quickly check, guys, if Neil is going live with the fix tonight. So, just to quickly recap, all these names that we're adding, you will be able to vote on these names during the next week. And then by the next live stream, we'll have our seed ready, we'll have the tournament ready to go, with every person that made the top, what is probably going to be the top 16. Might be the top 24, depending on how many votes we have and how much time we have and how many special guests I can actually, like, get to agree. But yeah, by the next live stream we'll probably have our entire list of participants and we can just start with the tournament itself. That's if everything goes perfectly smoothly. But yeah, these are the people so far you will be able to vote on during the next week. I'll be posting the link to this website on my social media, on YouTube itself. I'll remind you guys in every way I possibly can. And then, yeah, you can get to voting on who you actually want in the league. Right now, I have it set up where each person gets 3 votes. I'll ask you to please, like, don't make a ton of alt accounts and start voting. Like, I might decide to just get rid of a whole lot of votes when I see they're like random accounts or very similar accounts or something like that. I might just get rid of a ton of votes. If I really see some flagrant cheating in there, quote unquote. But yeah, let's try to keep it a buck and just use one account. I think that's fine. Everyone gets 3 votes. You can vote on your 3 favorite athletes to see in the tournament. I might change it to 5, but I think I'll keep it at 3. Alex says, I was on Engen's live, guys. Where are we? And what has been voted? Yeah, there you go. Just gave you a rundown, Alex. I didn't know Engen was live, to be fair. But yeah, it's all good. I don't think Neil is going live necessarily. I don't see anything posted yet, but we'll keep our eye on it. Oh no, he's going live on Tuesday, probably taking a break because of the Easter weekend, which makes sense. Bass or bass? Yeah, probably bass, right? But I would like to be a bass master. Controls on fish. German Game says, does anyone know good cable tools for cupping? That is currently the thing I have to improve the most at the time. Okay, interesting. Good cable tools for cupping. Yeah, there are a couple. Just handles. I use, like I said, personally, I just use like a rolling handle, like a just very general rolling handle. You can find them everywhere. And then just put a fat grip on there. That works for me. Rustam.Hutchings podcast was now interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out afterwards. Mazurenko cupping tool was highly recommended by Dennis. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of people. I'll try to add a couple more as I think of them. But yeah, I won't be live for too much longer today, but I'll probably have to go live again tomorrow to finish this list. And then I'll start sending it out to everyone. They can vote. I also might just do it on my own. If there's not too many people left to add, but I kind of feel like there are a lot of people we still missed, right? So maybe I can go live briefly tomorrow. But I'm like scrolling through arm wrestlers here, and there's one guy who just has the best picture ever, I think. Looks like. Check this out. I wonder if they have to send in their own picture for Gold's arm, or if Gold's arm actually chooses the picture. Yeah, I'll put Mindaugas Terracetus on there too. There you go. Cody Woods. Svetan Gashevsky, sure. I'll add him. Though he's a little light, right? Dave Morocco, that's a name I haven't seen in a long time. David Dadiakan, for sure. I'll add David Arabuli too. What about David Samusha? Probably too light, but I'll add him. Never know. I'll add Dimitri Trubin. As well as another Dimitri in Dmitry Silaev. I'm looking through this list here. Arian Notoprol says, I just want Minda to win. Baz the Fish. Jason likes to fish. There you go. Jason the Bassmaster Merlot. Or the Bassmaster Jason Merlot. 2018 Levant question mark? I don't know, Tomer. People seem pretty clear on wanting Levant banned. 81% wants Levant banned. I had no idea that Jesus was that swole. Yeah, well, there you go. And also very Aryan looking, apparently. Ariam Notoprol says, I once dreamt of Levant next to me, and Levant both got banned. It seems like a plausible dream. I wonder what would happen if, like, all of a sudden arm wrestling would become a heavily tested sport. I think I have a pretty good idea on what would happen. I'm going over the list here, guys, but yeah, too many. And a lot of people are arguably way too light to even stand a chance here, but I'll put like someone like Frank Lamparelli into, just because he's kind of relevant. And that's how you spell it. So many people in their prime. I'm gonna have to cut some people and add some people. I know I'm gonna have to curate this list before I send it out. It's inevitable. Just too many. A lot of people on here that I've never heard of too. I'll put Georgi Tatiev in there. I'll put Revas Lutidze in there. I'll put Sabin Badulescu. Master. It's catchphrase, right? Serpina says you have to stay in shape when you live with 12 boys who worship you. That's a very that's a very interesting way of describing it. Mr. Peanut, I like it. Tomer says I would stop watching. Yes, I like the actual sport, but I am to a degree attached to the characters. Like if your favorite character in Mario Kart were removed, you wouldn't have fun. What's your favorite character in Mario Kart? Tomer. I know it's kind of besides the point, but what's your favorite character in Mario Kart? And which Mario Kart we talking here? Like 8 Deluxe or just in general every Mario Kart? Iraklis, Irakashvili, yeah, I'll put him on there. There we go. Matushenko is already on there, I believe. I'll put the Jedi on there, Yanis Amelins. The N-word, Nintendo. I'm not sure if he's in the other Mario Kart, but for me in the Wii version it has to be Funky Kong. He's not in a lot of Mario Karts, but I do believe they added him to 8 Deluxe in the DLC. I'm not quite sure, but I do think so. But yeah, he's for sure in Wii. He's like the top tier character in Wii Mario Kart. That's a good one. I like it. I like Funky. I think first time I saw Funky Kong was in Donkey Kong Country 3 on the SNES when I was a little kid. It's kind of dating me, I guess. Let's see. Jerome Loud, I'll put him on there. Who else do we have here? I'll put Jody Williams on there too. Marcio, of course, Marcio Barboza. So many arm wrestlers. I'm gonna have to cut a lot of these people, I think, because I don't know. It seems like a lot of options. Maybe a little too many. Arim Notapro says, simple, nothing will happen. I mean, literally, and yeah, that the last remaining individual of tight jeans will be extinct. Lalita says, hey man, I'm from India. Tell me something about arm wrestling in India. What do you know about it? And who's your favorite Indian arm wrestler? My favorite Indian arm wrestler is Ryan Bowen. No, I know recently there was another Pro Panja League, right? I think. I don't know a lot about Indian arm wrestling, to be fair. I wish there was more in inter-country like competition. I wish India got more international competitions as far as their pullers. Would love to see more Indian guys invited to Western leagues and more Western guys invited to Indian leagues. I was kidding about Ryan Bowen being my favorite Indian puller, by the way. I like Rahul Panikkar. We talked about him earlier in the live stream. I think Maza here is a pretty good Indian champion just because the guy seems to be like a calm, decent guy from what I've seen. But yeah, I'll add Maza here, Saidu. Why not? I'll add him to the list too. I think that's a good one to add. Now that you mentioned Indian arm wrestling. I'll add a Hellboy, otherwise known as Matthias Schlitte. Matthias Schlitte from Germany. Some good guys out of Germany, Jan. There's Kevin Berberick, who's he's tearing up the local scene here in Western Europe. He's a really good puller. Talking about German pullers, I'll put Leonidas on there too. Who the heck is Mike Bowling? Put Mike Ayalo on there. Damn, this is quite a picture too. Now, I don't mean to make fun, but they couldn't find a better one for my guy Mike Lance. Unfortunate, man. Did he at least win his match? Nah, he lost. Damn, Mike. You did you dirty, my man. Not like Cody Wood. We need Gorilla. Who, Corey West? That's who you're talking about? He's already on there, I think. Or just a gorilla. Let's see here. John Brezink. Who even is John Brezink? Never heard of the guy. I'm just going through a list here, like a massive, massive compendium of like every puller known to man, it seems. So many. Still have to include some of the oldies too, like the 80s and 90s guys. Talking about Kevin Berberick, there he is. Krasimir we already have. I'll add Kirigali Ongorbayev. There you go. I'll add Lachlan Adair. We've got quite a few of Australian people as co-commentators during the Fantasy League in the upcoming week, so I'll add a couple of Australian guys too, of course. I'll add Lars Rohrbacken. That's a good one, I think. I'll add Matti Verengi. I think that's fine. And then, because I'm adding Matti Verengi, I'll add one of his last super matches. There's this guy, James Stewart. You might not know him, but James Stewart. Very tall, very strong puller from Scotland. Doing really well. Doing some very impressive lifts too. Like really impressive grip stuff. James Stewart. Also sometimes in the chat. Also known as the Claymore. A really nice guy. Leonidas, yes, he's on there. Smaev is also on there. I'm confused why Lars's nickname isn't Batman. He literally trains in a cave. Try to get that going, man. Justin B says, any thoughts on an actual arm wrestling fantasy league? Each team gets like 10 arm wrestlers, and whoever gets the most wins overall for the year wins. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I don't know if I'd be any help in facilitating it, but if someone is organizing it, I'd love to join it. Like, I think it'd take quite a bit of time to set up and to like check every week and stuff, and I don't know if I really have the time to do that, but I'd love to be a part of one. Where is Henry? I'm afraid his last date didn't go well. You're talking about reaction guy Henry? I don't know, man. Well, I talked to him not long ago, so he's still alive. Like 2 days ago or something. Mr. Peanut says the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, and the 2010s guys, and the 2020 guys. Oh, you mean John, right? To a degree, yes. He was the guy in all those decades. At least in a lot of them. Which is crazy to think of, right? Researching these videos I'm making on John, like you realize John was everything but unbeatable. Like he got beaten a lot of times, obviously, but just the sheer amount of like top tournaments he pulled at, like the guy was never afraid of losing. Like it's so clear to me looking at his career that he was never ever afraid of losing a match. Like that doesn't mean that he didn't see it as a possibility. Like of course he could lose and sometimes he did, but like he just put himself out there. Just pulled. Simple as that. Right from the start. Which is crazy. Like every year, very consistently, there's a very long period where every year he would go to the top paying tournament of that year. He just wouldn't miss it. And several of them usually. Winning several weight classes. Like the guy was just an arm wrestling machine at times. There's this very interesting part that's in the third episode, like in the third video that's coming out soon. It's about, like, part of it is about the John Brezink challenge. And for those of you that don't know, it's like John Brezink facing 102 people in a row or something like that. There's more to it. I go into detail in the video, but like he faced 102 people in a row, beat them all, and a lot of them were actual arm wrestlers. Like people actually wanting to beat him, and there was actual money on the line. So like Travis Bajan and stuff were in there. There were a lot of accomplished arm wrestlers in that lineup. And John just plowed through all 102 of them. Like Travis Bajan, I think, was on that list 4 times or something. Talking about a 2003 Travis Bajan or like a 2004 Travis Bajan, so... Guy was just fucking nuts when it came to just practicing the sport and actually doing table time with practice pullers. Also, I think people often underestimate how many people he actually got to know early on in his career that knew what they were doing. People like Dave Patton. Like, a lot of people kind of took John under their wings early on in his career. And like imparted on them all the things they had already learned from arm wrestling in the 70s and very early 80s. So John had a lot of like mentor figures, it seemed to me, early on in his career that just kind of taught, like kind of imparted on him the things they had learned already. So not only did he get a really early start, he also like fell in with all the right people at the right times. Which a lot of things have to go right in order for those series of events to line up, right? I'll put Oleg Petrenko on the list too. And of course, Andrei Pushkar too. How could we forget? Ah, he's already on there? Yeah, he's already on there. Okay, so we didn't forget, clearly. I think at least he's already on there. Yeah, okay, so we didn't forget. Oleg Petrenko. Then I'll put Oleg Zok on there too. Oh no, that's left arm. Right. I won't put Oleg Zok on there for the right arm. Only East versus West matches count and King of the Table. Yeah, you could do it that way, kinda limit the scope of it, that makes sense. 300 pounds Engin versus 300 pounds Devon. I don't know, probably Devon, because Engin at 300 pounds, I don't know if his knees would be able to carry him. If the second place prize money is good enough, I wouldn't be scared of losing. That makes sense. First pick might actually be Samusha. Interesting. Yeah, probably smart. Probably a very smart pick for an actual fantasy league with East versus West stuff. Yeah. They had to like bid on which position they wanted to pull John in, so you could, like, obviously some positions would be better, right? You would want to put him late enough. You would want to pull him late enough, where he's already tired from all the other matches he's pulled, but not so late as to be too late to actually beat him, right? Because someone else could beat him before you even get a chance. So I think the best spots would be around like 80 or something, probably. Like out of 102. Put a RVJ on there. I'll put my man Reno Message on there. I'll have to contact Reno. Him and I get along. I'll have to contact Reno and see if he wants to join as a co-host too. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I should do that for sure. Roger Lernet, that's a nice name. I'll put Rustam Babayev on there. I'll put Ryan Espy on there. So many people. Fabian Badulescu I already have. I think that'll about do it for now. Like I said, I might go live again tomorrow, I'm not quite sure. I'm definitely gonna be adding to this list and possibly removing some people too, just to kind of curate it. Get it where people can actually kind of take a look through it, because I don't think there's an actual search function on the thing itself. They can of course search in their browsers, but not all people will do that, I think so. Yeah, I'll definitely add to this list more as I go along. And like I said, I'll release it tomorrow to the public. Possibly after another live stream, so keep your eyes peeled for another one tomorrow. But yeah, I think that'll about do it for today. Been live for, I think, nearly, yeah, an hour and a half or longer. So yeah, I appreciate everyone for coming as always, of course. Thank you for keeping me company on this Sunday. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. And yeah, hope to see you again next Sunday, same time, same place. Maybe tomorrow, like I said, keep your eyes out. But next Sunday will be the earnest start of the actual All-Time Prime Fantasy League. The first matches. You'll get to see the actual lineup after voting has happened. And yeah, I'll be joined by a co-commentator then. Maybe even two, so something to look forward to. I see our poll quite decisively shows Levan having to be banned here. So I'll add that to the rules. Levan is banned from this tournament. I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. Theo Smooth, German Game, Harry on the top row, Tomer, Totro King, Justin B, all the rest of you, Mr. Peanuts. I'm sure I forgot a lot of people. I'm just scrolling here through the names, but Alita, a lot more. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you again next week, maybe tomorrow. Until then, Arm Historian, out of here, guys. Bye.